Welcome back to Flip, a tale, where stories whisper forgotten truths and ordinary moments hide extraordinary secrets. Tonight's story is called The Forgotten Day, written by Whimsy McBean. In the quiet town of Elmsbrook, every morning smelled of rain and fresh baked bread. But on this Tuesday, something felt strange, like a missing note in a familiar song. People went about their day, but a shadow of confusion hung over them. By noon, it became clear. No one could remember the day before. Only one man remembered, Elias Ward, the thoughtful clockmaker. He alone recalled the lost day, which had slipped from everyone else's minds. Elias turned the closed sign on his shop. In the reflection, he saw faint fireworks exploding, a memory of the Festival of Lanterns. How could everyone forget such a vibrant day? He rushed to Martha's cafe, breathless. "Martha, the festival yesterday, the lights, the music. Do you remember?" She just frowned, saying, "Festival. Elias, we have not had one in years." Her words stung. The town square was bare, as if no celebration had ever touched it. Elias hurried back to his shop and found his calendar. June 12th was missing, jumping straight from the 11th to the 13th. The ticking of hundreds of clocks around him echoed in unison. "Time remembers," he said softly, touching a brass gear, even when people do not. Outside, he overheard strange conversations. People spoke of restless dreams, and waking with mud on their shoes, but no memory of why. Something had definitely happened. Elias noticed faint flickers of blue light at the edge of the distant hills. He would seen that glow once before, on the night everyone seemed to have forgotten. Back at his workbench, Elias opened his leather journal. His crisp handwriting read, "June 12, Festival of Lanterns. Met a girl named Clara. She lost her pendant by the fountain." Clara. The name quickened his pulse. He could not picture her face, but her laugh, light like wind chimes, lingered in his memory. She was connected to this missing day. That evening, Elias walked through the silent town square. The fountain stood dry, the lantern poles gone, but something glittered at its base, half buried beneath a fallen leaf. He picked it up, a silver hourglass pendant, its sand frozen mid-fall. Faintly etched on the back were the words, "When the clocks stop, so will time." Elias froze. His clocks, every single one, had stopped that morning. Exactly at 7:12 a.m. The exact moment everyone in Elmsbrook had forgotten. He clutched the pendant tightly and whispered, "Clara, who are you?" But only the hum of wind across empty streets answered him. As night fell, the strange, pulsing glow appeared again on the horizon, like a distant heartbeat. Elias knew where he had to go. He packed a lantern, his journal, and the pendant, then locked his shop. The streets were quiet, lined with shadows that felt more alive than they should. At the edge of town, the air grew colder. The grass shimmered under the moonlight, dusted with silver. The hills looked unlike anything he would seen before. As he climbed, he began to hear whispers, echoes of laughter, music, and fireworks from a memory that should not exist. He reached the top and gasped. Below him lay a circle of ancient standing stones, glowing faintly blue. At the center, something pulsed like a heartbeat. He stepped closer. Inside the circle, a faint shimmer, a ripple in the air, bent light around it, like time itself was folding. Elias hesitated, holding the pendant tightly. "If this is where the day went," he whispered, "then I am going in after it." And with that, he stepped through the shimmer. When Elias stepped through the glowing veil, the world spun. Colors bent, sound warped, and his pocket watch ticked louder than his heart. He landed on cobblestone, the same town square, yet not. The air shimmered, caught between night and day. People walked by, smiling faintly, their eyes empty. He realized with a chill, he was inside the forgotten day. June 12th was still alive here, in this pocket of stolen time. Lanterns floated, fireworks painted the dusk sky, and faint music drifted like a dream. Then Elias froze. She was there, Clara. Her brown hair gleamed under the lanterns, her gray eyes luminous. She smiled, holding a silver pendant, just like his. "You came back," she said softly. "You were not supposed to remember." He stepped closer, voice trembling. "Who are you? What is this place? Why did everyone forget this day?" Clara's smile faded. This day was never meant to exist. It is a loop. A day borrowed from time, created to fix something that went wrong. His mind reeled. A loop? We have lived this before, she nodded. Over and over. Each time, something breaks. And each time, you are the only one who remembers. Elias looked around at the eerily familiar scene. Then, why me? Why do I remember when no one else can? Clara took his hand and placed the pendant between them. Because you built the clock that started it all. His mind reeled. The clock? My workshop clock. She nodded slowly. The clock tower you repaired last winter. It was not broken, Elias. It was holding time together. When you wound it, you restarted the loop. You mean, I caused this? Elias asked. No, Clara said gently. You saved them, even if they will never remember it. But now, the clock is slowing. Time is unraveling again. The air around them began to ripple. Fireworks froze mid-air. People stopped mid-laughter. The world was falling apart. Elias felt the pendant vibrate. What do I do? He shouted. Go back, Clara said. Fix the clock. Set it right before midnight. If you fail, this town will vanish. She stepped closer, eyes glistening. You will not remember me after, but I will remember you. That is the cost. Before he could protest, light enveloped him, and the world shattered. He gasped awake on his workshop floor. The clocks were still, their hands frozen at 11:58 p.m. 2 minutes left before midnight. He stumbled towards the great clock at the back of the shop, the one with Clara's pendant, shaped emblem carved into its face. Sweat dripped down his temples as he pried open the back panel, gears grinding and sparks flying. Come on, he muttered, his heart pounding. The final gear clicked into place, and time itself inhaled. Every clock in Elmsbrook ticked once, in perfect harmony, and Elias heard a whisper. Thank you, Elias. When the final tick echoed, the air rippled like water, lanterns reappeared, the square flickered with light, and then everything went dark. Elias opened his eyes to a pale morning. The shop was quiet, the clocks humming softly. The town outside looked the same, yet felt inexplicably lighter. He checked his calendar. June 13th, but now, June 12th was back, written neatly in his handwriting, as if it had always been there. He smiled faintly, then paused. Something was missing. He could not remember why he felt relief, or who he had been trying to save. The silver pendant lay on his workbench, glowing faintly. He could not recall where it came from, but touching it made his chest ache with a strange, quiet longing. Outside, the townspeople were cheerful again. Mrs. Cooper waved from her porch. The CAF bustled. Everything was normal. Elias joined them, noticing something new. A small mural painted on the fountain's base. A girl holding an hourglass pendant. Her eyes familiar, her smile haunting. He stepped closer, fingertips brushing the painted surface. Clara, he whispered, not knowing how or why the name came to him. That night, the clocks in his shop ticked with a rhythm he would never heard before. Soft, gentle, like a heartbeat. And somewhere between those ticking seconds, he thought he heard her voice. Time remembers, Elias. Even when people do not. He closed his eyes, and for the briefest moment, he saw her, standing beneath the lanterns, smiling, whispering something he could not quite catch. A warm tear slipped down his cheek. He did not know why he was crying, only that it felt right, like a memory saying goodbye. He wound one final clock that evening, the pendant resting beside it, the hands aligned perfectly at midnight, and every clock in town ticked in unison once more. A faint gust of wind swept through the window, carrying with it the scent of summer and the distant echo of laughter, the kind that belongs to a memory reborn. Elias smiled, whispering to the empty room, "Maybe some days are not meant to be remembered, just felt." He placed the pendant inside a glass case, labeling it simply, "For Clara, June 12." Outside, the first morning rays touched the town square, glinting softly off the mural. For a moment, the painted girl seemed to shimmer, and her pendant sparkled like real silver. Somewhere deep within the ticking harmony of his clocks, a soft voice echoed, barely a whisper, "Until next time." And so the town of Elmsbrook carried on, never knowing it had once lost a day, or that a quiet clockmaker had given them back their time. Thank you for listening to The Forgotten Day, because some memories fade, but some, time keeps safe forever.